everyone, I'm Cool Cat Bro, and I'm here with an author and illustrator. It isn't Farrell, but it is Drew Dernavich, and he is going to be reading It's Not Easy Being Number 3. Hey Drew, and thanks for joining us on Cool Cat Bro.
Thank you, Cool Cat Bro. I'm sorry I'm not Darren Farrell, but I'm excited to be here and to read my book for you.
We have 3 questions for you, Drew. 1. If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be?
If I was a vegetable, I would want to be a carrot, because I don't really like carrots, and I would be afraid that if I was a vegetable I liked, that I would eat myself.
Why did you pick the number 3, not other numbers like 4 or 2 or 5 or 1 or stuff like that?
Why did I pick number 3? No real reason. My original idea was that every number would have its own story. Maybe I'll do that someday, but I just wanted to start with number 3. Number 3 does have some cool things about it. For instance, there's lots of good movies that come in 3s, and we are on the 3rd planet from the sun.
Question number 3. How did you do the sketch art right there?
How do I do this sketch art? That is a good question. Normally when you draw, to give an example, normally when you draw, you're drawing with black ink or colored ink on white paper, like this. But the book is actually done on scratchboard. You can look it up, scratchboard, but it's one word. And what scratchboard is a piece of paper that's covered with black ink. And instead of drawing on it, I actually am scratching it off like that. This isn't scratchboard, this is a whiteboard, but it's the same kind of thing. Imagine if you are scratching the paint off a wall or scratching the paint off of a car. It's kind of the same thing, but I don't advise that you try that because the adults in the room will be really angry. So that's how I created that book, and then I colored it in. Okay, if there's no more questions, then I will read my book. It's Not Easy Being Number 3. Do you know number 3? I mean, do you really know number 3? You might think you do. After all, numbers are everywhere. But sometimes numbers get bored and want to do something else. And they really wish they could just quit being a number for a while. That was exactly what number 3 did one day. Number 5 asks, "Hey, where are you going?" And number 3 says, "I don't know, but I don't want to be a number anymore." But what was a number supposed to do once it stopped being a number? There were so many possibilities, so many things to try. And number 3 wanted to try them all. Could he be the toes of an elephant? The mouth of a cat? The humps of a camel? The wings of a seagull? On this page, and on many pages, I've hidden the number 3, trying to be the toes of an elephant or the humps of a camel. And I hope if you have the video or the book in front of you, you can find the number 3 hiding in all these pictures. Number 3 liked people even more than he liked animals. So he tried being the rim of some glasses, the legs on a pair of shorts, and an earbud. He also tried being a shoelace, the hem of a dress, and even a hairband. But none of those options felt satisfying. Number 3 soon found himself sitting in a laundry basket, feeling unappreciated. Maybe he could do something helpful, like work in a school. There were so many useful things he could be in a classroom. But he didn't enjoy the nights and weekends when kids weren't around. There was nobody for him to help, and that left 3 feeling lonely. Wasn't there something more active that number 3 could do? Like being a rake in a big backyard? A ship's anchor plunging into the ocean? A spatula in a busy restaurant? The steering wheel of an airplane? These things were certainly exciting, but they left number 3 a little banged up. That was when number 3 decided to be a sculptor. Everybody would see him, and he wouldn't get hurt. Now this was fun. He had a shiny coat of bronze and a pedestal to sit on. People said he was a work of art. Number 3 was making people happy, so he felt happy. The other numbers heard about number 3's new job and came by to say hello. And the other numbers say, "We're a mess without you, number 3. We miss you. Please come back." But number 3 wasn't interested in returning to the world of numbers. "Everybody appreciates me," he says. "I've never felt so important. Sorry, numbers. You'll have to get along without me." And so, number 3 continued to be a sculptor. But, as the days and weeks went on, he felt less and less special. Eventually, his shiny bronze coat got dull and dirty. Very dirty. Then winter came. People stopped gathering in front of number 3 and taking pictures. He didn't feel so important anymore, and he became more unhappy with each passing day. Pretty soon, nobody noticed that number 3 was there at all. What could he do that would make him feel useful again? When the snow started to melt, number 3 saw a glimmer of hope in a new sign. The state fair would be coming this spring. Number 3 loved the fair. He knew he had to go. As soon as it was time, number 3 gladly hopped off of his lonely pedestal. He rushed to find a disguise so that nobody would notice him, and then he went off to enjoy the fair. But when number 3 got there, he was shocked by what he saw. There was no fair this year. A man says, "Did you hear the news? Number 3 is missing, so we can't open." There's no 3-legged race, no triple scoop ice cream cones, no 3 throws for $1, no 3 times around on the Ferris wheel. We can't even have music. And the conductor counts off 1 and 2 and there's no 3. What's worse, the other numbers couldn't take 3's place, so they all had to quit. There are no games or prizes. There's no way to even tell the time or the temperature. Without the numbers, there's no fun. It didn't take number 3 long to realize that this was the opportunity he was looking for. He was going to be useful again just by being himself, and this made him feel like celebrating. "Welcome back," say all the numbers. "Woohoo!" Number 3 says, "I'm sorry I left, numbers. You were right. There are plenty of sculptures and shoelaces and steering wheels, but there's only one number 3. And the other numbers say, "We couldn't agree more. Now, let's get back to doing what we do best." And on the last page, you can see the numbers getting back to doing what they do best, which is being numbers. And it's a picture of the state fair, now open because all the numbers have decided to be numbers again. And on this page, if you look, you can find all of the numbers from 0 through 9 on this page. So have fun finding them. And if you go to the state fair this year, or Six Flags, or an amusement park, you can try and find all the numbers there too. That's the end of the book, and on the back page, it shows number 3 finally enjoying the fair, like you will, on a roller coaster and eating popcorn, which is one of my favorite things to do at the state fair. And, in fact, I went to the state fair last year with number 3. That's why we're friends. So, I hope you enjoyed the book, and thanks for having me, Cool Cat Bro.
Thanks for reading that book, Drew. I'll see you soon.